Listen to me carefully, my dear sister, my dear brother. What if I told you that something very small, something you usually crush without thinking, could be a reminder that Allah is opening doors for you? What if the thing you call dirty or annoying is actually a sign that mercy is near? What if the moment you rush to kill it, you rush past a blessing? I know how this sounds, but stay with me, just stay with me. We live in a world where we chase money. We run after it, we stress over it. We cry at night because bills are heavy, rent is high, food is expensive, and life feels unfair. Especially many sisters in the United States, single mothers, wives holding homes together, women working 2 jobs and still smiling. You whisper to Allah in the quiet of the night, Ya Allah, I'm tired. And Allah hears you. But Allah teaches us something powerful in the Quran. He says in meaning that He's gentle with His servants and He provides for whom He wills. Sometimes provision doesn't come as a check in the mail. Sometimes it comes as a reminder to soften your heart. Allah also tells us in the Quran that He made every living thing from water. That means life itself is sacred. Even the smallest creature has a purpose. Nothing is random in Allah's creation. Not the stars, not the wind, not even an insect that walks into your home when you least expect it. Today, I am not here to sell you superstition. I am not here to say an insect gives you money. No. Wealth only comes from Allah. But Allah uses signs, He uses reminders. He uses moments to teach us mercy, patience, and gratitude. And those qualities invite barakah into your life. The Prophet taught us kindness to all living beings. He told us that a woman was forgiven by Allah because she showed mercy to a thirsty animal. Think about that. One small act of mercy changed her destiny. So what happens when you choose mercy inside your own home? There are certain small creatures that people across cultures have always connected with provision, not because they magically bring money, but because they remind us of values that attract Allah's help. Let me speak to you as a friend now. The first one is the ant. You see an ant and you feel irritated. It's tiny, it's slow, it's carrying a crumb bigger than its body, and your first reaction is to crush it. But Allah mentions the ant in the Quran. Think about that. Out of all creatures, Allah chose to tell us a story involving an ant. That alone should make us pause. Allah reminds us that even an ant has awareness, community, and concern for others. Ants work together. They plan, they store, they don't panic, they don't complain. They move with patience and purpose. My dear sister, when an ant enters your home, it is not there to steal from you. It is there to survive. And sometimes Allah is reminding you, slow down, be patient, do your work with consistency and trust the process. Provision is not always fast. Ants don't rush, but they always reach their destination. When you choose not to kill it, when you gently remove it, you train your heart in mercy. And mercy invites mercy. The Prophet taught us that Allah is merciful to those who show mercy. If Allah shows mercy to your home, tell me, what door of provision can remain closed? The second creature is the spider. Many people are scared of it. Some scream, some panic, some destroy its web immediately. But Allah mentions the spider in the Quran too. Allah teaches us that the spider's house is fragile. This is not to mock the spider. This is to teach humans a lesson about relying on weak things instead of Allah. Look at the spider. It builds its home every day. If it breaks, it builds again. It doesn't give up. It doesn't say, yesterday failed, so I quit. Many women listening right now, your life feels like that web. You build, it breaks, you rebuild. A marriage fails, a job ends, a plan collapses. And yet you are still standing. When a spider appears in your home, it is not a curse, it is a reminder. Keep building, but don't attach your heart to the structure. Attach your heart to Allah. Allah says in the Quran, in meaning that whoever puts their trust in Him, He's enough for them. When trust enters a home, anxiety leaves. And when anxiety leaves, clarity comes. And when clarity comes, you make better decisions. And better decisions lead to better provision. The third creature, I will speak about it slowly in the next part, because it carries a lesson that touches the deepest fear people have about loss and scarcity. But before that, let me say this clearly. Islam does not teach us to worship signs. Islam teaches us to read signs. There is a difference. Your wealth is written. Your provision is already decreed. But your behavior determines how smoothly it reaches you. Killing without reason hardens the heart. Mercy softens it. A soft heart recognizes opportunities. A hard heart misses them. If Allah can place guidance in a verse, hope in a prayer, and healing in a tear, then Allah can also place a reminder in something small walking across your floor. So next time you see it, pause, breathe, remember Allah, choose mercy. And watch how Allah changes the atmosphere of your home, the peace in your chest, and the way the next door begins to open. Because Allah is closer than you think. Now let me come to the third small creature, the one that makes many people uncomfortable. Some people feel fear, some feel disgust, some feel panic, and yet it carries one of the deepest lessons about provision, loss, and trust. The bee, yes, the bee. Some of you are already thinking, but it can sting. Yes, it. But listen to what Allah teaches us through it. Allah speaks about the bee in the Quran. He tells us in meaning that He inspired the bee. Think about that word, inspired, not guided randomly, inspired. The bee is shown where to go, where to live, and what to take from the earth. And then Allah says that from its belly comes a drink of different colors in which there is healing for people. Healing, not harm, healing. The bee works hard. It leaves its home every day. It travels far. It faces danger, wind, rain, birds, and still it returns. It does not take more than it needs. It does not destroy the flower. It benefits the flower and benefits others. My dear sister, my dear brother, look at how deep this lesson is. So many of us are tired because we take too much on our shoulders. We carry guilt. We carry fear. We carry pressure that Allah never asked us to carry. The bee teaches balance. Take what you need. Leave what is not yours. Trust that tomorrow has its own provision. For many women listening, especially in America, life feels like constant pressure. Be everything, do everything, fix everything, provide everything. And when something goes wrong, you blame yourself. Allah never wanted that for you. Allah says in the Quran, in meaning, that He does not burden a soul beyond what it can bear. If you are breathing today, you are already stronger than you think. When a bee enters your space, don't panic, don't scream, pause, open a window, let it find its way. Because sometimes Allah is teaching you how to let go without violence, how to remove stress without destruction. And here is something very important. Wealth is not only money. Some homes have money and no peace. Some homes have peace and little money, but they sleep better. And some homes Allah gives both. Barakah is when little becomes enough. You may earn the same paycheck as someone else, but your food lasts longer. Your car runs smoother. Your children are protected. Your heart feels lighter. That is barakah. And barakah loves mercy. The Prophet taught us that whoever is kind, Allah is kind to them. Kindness is not weakness. Kindness is strength under control. Every time you choose not to kill without need, you train your soul. You tell your heart, I trust Allah. And trust opens doors you cannot see. Some of you listening right now are struggling financially. We're doing your best. You pray, you work, you sacrifice, and still things feel tight. I want you to hear this gently. Provision is not delayed because Allah forgot you. Provision is sometimes delayed because Allah is protecting you from something worse, or because He is preparing your heart for something bigger. Allah says in the Quran, in meaning that if His servants knew what He knows, they would choose what He chooses for them. So when something small enters your home and you respond with calm instead of anger, with mercy instead of fear, you align your heart with divine wisdom. And that alignment changes everything. I have met people who told me, when I softened my heart, my life softened. Not overnight, not magically, but steadily. Doors opened, people helped, ideas came, opportunities appeared. Not because of an insect, but because of what the insect awakened inside them. Awareness, gratitude, trust. My dear sister, when you walk into your kitchen and see something crawling, remember this moment. Remember that Allah sees you. Remember that He is Ar-Razzaq, the provider. Remember that your worth is not tied to your bank account. And my dear brother, when stress makes you harsh, when pressure makes you angry, pause, breathe, lower your hand, because leadership begins with mercy, and provision follows those who lead with a soft heart. The home that remembers all becomes a place where angels feel welcome. And when angels feel welcome, goodness increases in ways you cannot measure. So let your home be a place of calm. Let it be a place where even the smallest life is treated with respect. Let it be a place where trust lives. Because when trust lives in a home, fear leaves quietly. And when fear leaves, hope walks in. And when hope walks in, the doors you thought were locked begin to loosen in ways you never expected. But let me speak honestly now, with love and a little urgency. Sometimes the problem is not that provision is small. Sometimes the problem is that hearts have become hard. We rush, we shout, we break things, we kill without thinking, and then we wonder why peace has left our homes. Allah did not create us to live angry lives. There is a verse in the Quran where Allah says in meaning that corruption has appeared on land and sea because of what people's hands have earned. That verse is not only about big crimes, it is also about small habits, how we react, how we treat creation, how quickly we lose patience. A home reflects the heart of the people inside it. If a home is always tense, always loud, always harsh, don't be surprised if Barakah feels far. And if a home is gentle, calm, and full of remembrance, don't be surprised if Allah sends ease from places you never planned. I remember someone telling me, I had nothing, but I stopped complaining, just that. Not a miracle, not a dream, just a decision. I stopped complaining and started thanking. Slowly, things changed. Not because money fell from the sky, but because their heart changed how they saw life. Allah says in the Quran, in meaning that if you are grateful, He will increase you. Increase is not always in numbers. Sometimes it is in strength. Sometimes it is in patience. Sometimes it is in the ability to survive what would have broken someone else. And listen carefully. This is important. Some people kill every small creature in their home, but they don't kill the sins that are destroying their souls. They remove ants, spiders, bees, but they keep lying, backbiting, cheating, and neglecting prayer. My dear brother, my dear sister, this is not an attack. This is a reminder. The biggest blocker of provision is not an insect. It is a heart disconnected from Allah. When prayer becomes rushed, when dua becomes rare, when Quran becomes decoration instead of guidance, life becomes heavy. Not because Allah is cruel, but because we walked away from the source of light. Allah says in the Quran, in meaning, that whoever turns away from His remembrance will have a tight life, even if they seem successful on the outside. Tight life. That feeling of never enough. Enough money but no peace. Enough food but no satisfaction. Enough friends but deep loneliness. And yet Allah is so merciful. He sends reminders everywhere. Sometimes through pain, sometimes through delay. Sometimes through something so small you almost miss it crawling across your floor. Allah is saying, come back to me, not with fear, with love, not with perfection, with honesty. Some of you are listening right now with tears in your eyes. You didn't expect this message to touch you. You clicked out of curiosity, and now your heart feels exposed. That is not an accident. Allah says in the Quran, in meaning that He is closer to you than your jugular vein. He knows your struggle. He knows your silent prayers. He knows the nights you cried without telling anyone. And He is inviting you closer. Come back to simple faith, simple prayer, simple trust. Talk to Allah like a friend who never left you. Even when you walked away. Say, Ya Allah, I'm tired. He understands. Say, Ya Allah, I'm scared. He listens. Say, Ya Allah, I don't know what I'm doing. He guides. And while you are at it, soften your heart, slow your reactions, choose mercy where you can, because the same mercy you give returns to you multiplied. The Prophet taught us that the strong person is not the one who overpowers others, but the one who controls themselves when angry. That control is power. That control attracts divine help. You don't need to change your whole life in one day, just change one reaction, one moment, one habit. Lower your hand, lower your voice, lift your heart. Let your home feel Allah again, because when Allah is welcomed into a home, even the walls feel lighter, even the air feels calmer, even the nights feel safer. And when Allah takes care of your heart, He takes care of everything connected to it, connected to it. My dear sister, my dear brother, let me come closer now, heart to heart. Some of you are carrying wounds no one can see, betrayal, abandonment, words that should never have been said to you, promises